This content is brought to you in association with my buddies over at Jam Jam Cards UK. You can find the links to the eBay store and the Facebook page in the description. Hi guys, it's Joe here from Rufio. We've got Calum coming on the channel, wants to share off his new Bird Up build. Of course, he's finally got all the cards because it's pre-release weekend, so he's all excited, he wants to show it off, and of course, who am I to say no? So, any thoughts about what the new cards offer for the deck?
Basically, the deck is just hella consistent now. It's much more explosive. Your end boards are much more, well, they're much stronger in general. You can do much more creative things. You can play through more interruptions. So overall, the deck has just gotten such a boost. It's I seriously think it could be one of the meta contenders.
Yeah, it's
for
really
the format.
It's a really solid combo deck. Like I've done a video on this actually. There's like 15 combos or something there, most for like 2 cards.
Yeah,
and it's just pretty wild. So anyway, we'll stop waffling on. Let's get stuck into the profile. Take us away when you're ready.
All right. So starting off with the main deck, we'll start with the Lyrillus monsters. So of course the best one, Lyrillus Warbler. So this one here is a free special summon from hand. If you control no monsters. And if it's special summoned from the hand, you can special summon another Lyrillus from your hand or your grave. So you use this in conjunction with Cobalt Sparrow and the Wagtail in order to get their special summon effects. Cobalt Sparrow lets you add a level 1 Winged Beast, and Celeste Wagtail will let you add the Lyrillus spell. So we've got the new Rotor that came out in the new set alongside this. This can add the Rotor, and it can also add the continuous spell, which I will get onto a little bit later. So basically, this, if it's summoned from hand, which also works with the new Rotor, will basically just summon these, and that's how you get your combo going. All right. Moving on to Beryl Canary. This is usually the sort of last Lyrillus that you would activate as part of the combo. So what it allows you to do is, if you have a Lyrillus in your grave, you can activate this from hand to summon itself, plus the one from the grave. And then it XYZ locks you for the rest of the turn. So you can't summon monsters from the extra deck apart from XYZs. So this is what you do after you make all your link plays, and it's how you finalize the board by making the new XYZ.
Cool.
And then finally, we just play one Sapphire Swallow. This one is a little bit more bricky, mainly because it's very conditional on how you can use it. You need to both have a Winged Beast monster on the board, as well as a Winged Beast monster in your hand to be able to actually activate its effect. But it is 2 free summons, and as part of the combo, the bullet point effect here actually comes up, because when you make the Ensemble Robin using this, you can use this effect to then attach another Lyrillus to the Ensemble Robin, making it a little bit bigger, giving you an extra bounce. So that's all the Lyrillus. And then moving on to the Tri-Brigade portion of the deck. So we're of course playing 3 Fractals and 3 Nobles, 2 Kit and 2 Keras. So basically there's no real reason to explain this. Fractal is essentially a starter card for the deck. It can send not only your Kit, your Nerval, and do your conventional Tri-Brigade plays if you don't see the Lyrillus side, but you can also send the Cobalt Sparrow or the Wagtail to get you started on your Lyrillus plays, which then can get you into your Nerval, which then obviously gets you to the rest. So not much explaining to do here. Everybody knows what the Tri-Brigades do. The reason you're playing 2 Kit, 2 of Keras, it's a little bit of a weird ratio. Basically, Keras is another extender. You're playing so many Tri-Beasts, Wing Beasts just in general, that this is basically always active in your hand, so it's just a free summon. And then double Kit is just so that you can get some extra searches going. And it's part of the combo if you want to send the Rendezvous. So on to now just some of more of the like more conditional monsters and just the hand traps and things.
Yeah.
So we're playing the Avian and the Barrier Statue. So your end boards are going to look slightly different. It all depends on your matchup and how your hand looks. A lot of the time you'll be ending on either one of these. But it obviously, yeah, it's matchup dependent which one you would end on. If you have the Ensemble Robin though, and you can make Robin, it's usually better to summon this rather than this. Reason being, they're not going to be special summoning much when you've got a Robin on field anyway.
Yeah.
So this is basically just pointless having.
Yeah.
You may as well just have an Omni negate. That's the only really thing I can say on that. Most of the time you're going to be going for this, but if you have Robin, make this.
Cool.
All right. And then the hand traps, we're just playing 2 Ash Bottoms, 2 Effect Veilers, and also 2 Imperms. Reason it's a 2-2-2 split, Crossout Designator.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be drawing these all the time. They are a little bit bricky. You do need to have like a decent ratio of like Tri-Beasts and things in your hand. So by playing too many hand traps, you just make the deck more inconsistent. But I find these are the best hand traps, or most universal hand traps to play, and to obviously have with Crossout. This could change. Effect Veiler could be dropped for Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird really hurts this deck.
Yeah.
And I feel like Droll and Lockbird's probably going to be making a comeback this format, given that obviously Sword Solve, the Wonderies, all that kind of thing is gaining popularity and just releasing. So this could be cut for Droll and Lockbird, but ultimately you just want to be playing the hand traps that are the most universal alongside your Crossout.
Cool.
And then moving into the spells.
More monster, one time.
Not much explaining to do here. This card is
really strong.
Busted.
Really strong.
Insanely good. This is literally what's going to make Lyrilusk pure, and both this the Tri-Brigade build. It just makes it so much more consistent. I don't have to play Jack in the hand anymore.
Yeah.
Basically, this just searches up any Lyrilusk that you need at the time, and then can summon one from your hand as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to add it to your hand. You can also bin it.
Yeah.
I don't find that ever comes up. You're probably just going to add it to your hand.
Though, I guess.
I feel like if you get drolled, it's basically a card that you can still play even if you get drolled, because you can just bin the card.
Yeah.
But the bin thing only comes up if you get drolled.
Yeah.
Apart from that, you just add in whatever you're missing from your combo, and then you just combo off.
Yeah.
It is a once per turn though, so just bear that in mind. Then we're playing the 1 Tenki. This is your 4th copy of Fractal.
Yeah.
Foolish Burial. This basically, again, it acts like the Bird Call Foolish effect, or it acts like a Fractal.
Yep.
It just sends what you need to do your combos. The 1 Call Buy, just an insurance policy.
Yeah.
And then 1 for 1. This basically just summons any of the Lyrilusks from your deck for free, essentially just 1 pitch, which doesn't really matter in this deck. It's just more materials for the Tri-Brigades.
Yeah.
And then the 3 Crossout Designators. Obviously, you've seen the hand trap suite that we've got here. You could, if you're playing a bit more on a budget, play Triple Tactics Talent instead. I haven't tried the build with Triple Tactics yet, but I feel like it's probably just as good, maybe if not better. But for now, we're just playing the Crossouts. It's been working well for me so far. And yeah, it's allowed me to play through a lot of weird stuff that people have been playing, because you can tech in things from your side deck as well, such as like Droplet and things like that, which would normally ruin you when people are going second into your board. The 3rd brick of the deck is Rendezvous.
Yeah.
You don't like this card in your hand, it sucks. I draw it all the time, but you need to play it because you send it off kit, and it's how you protect your board from destruction effects.
Just got a little bit of glare there. Just wanna...
That's right. Yeah.
There you go.
So it's how you protect your board from the destruction effects, so and from battle. So when you summon your statue, this is basically just one way that you can protect it if you don't have the Ancient Warriors Dragon Lords out. Also protects your whole board from Lightning Storm, which is also pretty nice.
Kind of nice.
And then just the power traps. So obviously, Imperial Order.
Yeah.
Card is dumb. Should have been banned. And then Harpies, Featherstorm.
Skill drain.
So everybody knows about Azathoth.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how ridiculous that was, and obviously Calamities and all that kind of thing. This is just basically a Calamities that is basically unconditional in this deck.
It's from
just a
hand as
free
well,
win.
right? Like, what's the condition with that?
So you can activate it from hand if you control a Harpy.
Oh, it's just not really super relevant.
You are playing one of the Harpy links in here.
That's, sure.
Barely ever comes up though. You're just saying this.
Sure.
If they try and out it, you just chain it, and then they can't play.
Yeah.
Even if you brick in like the brick scenarios where you just open, say like the like a Sparrow, for instance, and like nothing else really, you can just normal this, set this, activate this in their standby phase. They can't play for a turn, and then all you have to do is just draw any level 1 or like a Nerval or something, or a Tri-Brigade, and you're good. And
Sure.
that's about it, really. This card is just steals games, so there's no reason not to play it. Obviously, it just comes out going second, so that's that. So that's the main deck for you guys. On to the extra deck. We are playing 2 of the Recital Starlings. So from the previous version, this has changed up to a 2 of now. As part of the combo, you can make the new Utopic Draco Future using both the Recital Starlings. It's 2 searches, because this is only a soft once per turn, and it's also part of the FTK if you're going second.
Sure.
So the FTK obviously involves our Assembled Nightingale here. This is actually it lets you attack directly. It protects itself with its own effect, and basically you can stack about 5 or 6 materials underneath this, attack your opponent 6 times, and then slap a Zeus on top. No one's outing a 6 material Zeus, and you can make it up to 10 with the continuous spell as well if you really wanted
Pretty
to.
filthy.
I did that against a Paleo player, and he was just, you just couldn't do anything from there.
Yep.
But yeah, basically part of the FTK is you attack directly with this like 4 or 5 times, and then you use this to just punch their biggest monster, and that kills them because of the last effect that everyone forgets about on this card, which is your opponent takes the battle damage that you would take.
Sure.
And then finally for the Ensemble, for the Lyralistic XYZs, we're playing the 1 Ensemble Robin. So this is a not once per turn compulse for special summon monsters.
Yeah.
Not much else I need to say on that, but you stack 4 or 5 materials under this usually. Your opponent's not going to be playing through that.
Sure.
So that's basically those. And then, of course, we're playing the 1 Utopic Future and Future Draco.
Has to be played in this.
Yeah. Part of your combo, you lead off by making 2 Starlings. You do your 2 searches, and then if they don't Nibiru you at that point, they can't Nibiru you after.
Yeah.
For the rest of your combo. This being able to steal the monster is also pretty nice in the Tri-Brigade mirror, so that did come up today, which was pretty funny. And then the last XYZ we're playing is obviously Zeus.
Yeah.
Card is broken. You can literally make this with like 6 materials. You can make it with upwards of 10. It's really funny to do, and it's so easy to just outboards by just getting 2 level 1s, making this, sending everything. Bob's your uncle, and you're done.
Sure.
I find with the XYZs here, this is the section of the extra deck that cannot change. You could maybe drop this, but you'd be stupid to.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's just too good not to play, especially when you make double of this during your combo.
Yeah.
So I feel like with this section of the extra deck, this is the part that you cannot change no matter what. So unfortunately, those of you who don't own Zeus and Future Draco, you might have a little bit of trouble picking those up, but they're not too expensive anymore. And then moving on to the second half of the extra deck, this is where it gets a little bit odd. So we're playing the Simorgh. This is the centerpiece of the deck. This is what you're going to end all your boards on. It's your protection, your card advantage engine, and your extra negate. all in one card. There's not much more I can say about this apart from the fact that it's just silly good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be ending all your boards on this. Just make sure it's in the extra monster zone, so you got the 3 pointing down, because then you can protect the Ensemble Robin and things like that underneath it. But yeah, apart from that, that's that. Then we're playing, obviously, the one Fairy Jeet.
Yeah.
So you could play this at 2. I was trying it with 2, but I found I dropped it to 1, and I haven't missed the second one, to be honest. It's part of the combo. You use obviously the special summon, and you can use the mulligan effect to try and draw you into your Featherstorm. But yeah, that's that. Everyone knows what Fairy Jeet does. It's pretty good. And then we're playing on the Link 2s the Ancient Warriors Oath Double Dragon Lords. Again, this is another piece to your end board that you'll be playing throughout your combo. It's just a bounce and a way to protect your statue. So if you don't draw the Rendezvous, at least try to make this to protect the statue from being outed in combat. And then we're playing the one Shurag. So Shurag, no reason to explain. It's basically
Construct.
Yeah,
Construct.
it's just good. Like you use it going second most of the time in this build, just to outboards and get you an extra search. And it's just a 3k beater, basically. That's just super easy to make. And then on to some of the more like controversial ones, but I feel like you need to play them. Is the Silver Sheller Rugal. This could be the Hazravelga Link 3 bird as well. Either or. I'm testing this at the moment, but ultimately all you're doing with these Link 3s is just going up into access. Which is the back. So this is just basically a bridge into your access code talker. And then these two here are essentially in case you brick. You will open hands every now and then where you just have a kit and nothing else, or something like that, or a Nerval. In which case you can make Almirage, search off the Keras, make the Keras, summon the Harpy Conductor, make your Simorgh, and then you still have at least something to go with. So the Harpy Conductor basically just allows you to make the Simorgh. In some really spicy, weird situations, you can make Harpy with the Featherstorm in hand, so that you can protect your board or your combo while you're doing it. But most of the time it's just there, just in case you brick. And then finally, we've got Access Code Talker. Card requires no introduction. It's a really strong card, and it's basically just out in boards going second. So that's that for the main and the extra. And then the side deck, this is going to change coming into the next format. But there are some cards in here that are must plays, and I feel, you know, going into next format, there's some techs and things that you could try out. But for the most part, this is just mostly down to your personal preference. But this is what I was running recently. So we're playing the one Dark Simorgh. Going into any back row matchup, there'll be a point in the match where you get to go first. You summon this, they can't play. They can't target it because it's underneath the Simorgh. So Altergeist literally can't out this. I think most back row decks can't out it, outside of some very weird traps which you can just negate with other means. So it's just a free win against back row decks when you go first. I'm playing 2 Alpha. This is basically against the Winder decks. This just outs Winder so easily. But it's not just that, you can also bounce some of the Lyralisks and get like double effects off of them occasionally, which is kind of nice. So yeah, it works really well in this deck. You're playing all the Tri-Beasts, so you can bounce like multiple things on their board in one go, which is pretty cool. Lyralisks aren't once per turn, so yay. Then we're playing 2 Nibiru. This was basically just a cross-out target. Nibiru does do something against your deck. It's not the end-all, be-all against this deck. You can play through it, no problems, and still make a decent board. But you know, if you can cross out it, you may as well. And then it's just good against some matchups. So This one's more a call for the next format. Droll and Lockbird. In the mirror, it's insane. Against other Lyrillist decks, it's insane. I think against Sword Soul this might be good as well. Obviously requires more testing and things like that. But I think Droll and Lockbird in general is just a pretty good card.
Yep.
It's also a level 1, so the worst comes to worst, you can just normal it and make a Recital Starling. And then we're playing the one of Bird Sanctuary. So I have relegated this to the side deck from the main deck. Basically, it's just great going second. You get a free draw if you control an XYZ with 3 or more materials. And you can also use its other effect to stack all the materials from one XYZ onto the other.
Sure.
So it's like a Gossip Shadow.
Yeah.
This is how you make your like 8 material, 10 material Zeus's. It's really funny. It's just a bit of a meme, but probably a little overkill, but it's just a little bit of fun. And that's what we're here for at the end of the day.
It's true.
Then I'm playing 2 droplets. I would play 3, don't own 3.
Sure.
So that's basically that. But yeah, droplets just insane in this deck. By discarding cards, you're fueling your Tri-Brigades. The Lyrilists don't necessarily care if they're in the grave either, because they can all reanimate. So this card is absolutely insane. It lets you OTK through people's boards as well, because Lyrilisk has just a built-in OTK.
Yeah.
So yeah, Droplet is a must-play, unfortunately, for this deck. And then we're playing Lightning Storm, Duster, and Reboot.
Go second. Yeah.
Go second against back row, you need some stuff. So yeah, these are the best stuffs for back row decks. So that's everything.
Cool. Okay, so thank you very much for taking the time to do the profile. Again, I do also agree with you. This is going to be a pretty insane combo deck for the format. So hopefully a few people pick it up and we can see some innovation going on. There's loads and loads of different routes and stuff people can take. So
yeah, I mean, there's loads of ways you can build it. I mean, pure Lyrilisk as well is also very, very strong and shouldn't be, you know, slept on either. But yeah, you can work around with the ratios yourselves. I find this is probably the best ratio to play. But obviously, you know, everyone's got their own preferences. The deck can brick from time to time, but you know, any deck can brick from time to time. Of
course.
So, but yeah, this deck is super fun to play. That's the main part. Like every hand is kind of different. They all sort of end on the same board roughly, but you have a lot of fun getting there. Your opponents don't know what to do. Multiple times today I've been like double impermed and like Lanciered, and I've still made a board. Yeah. People just don't know what to hit because you just do so much stuff.
Everything does something. Yeah.
Everything does something. You can extend through so many different things. So yeah, it's an absolute blast to play. So I definitely recommend it, especially since most of their stuff is fairly cheap.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. All right, well, again, thank you very much for taking the time to do the profile. I really appreciate it. If you guys are still looking to pick up singles for this, I'd say new format, but I guess it's more the change in the format, check out the channel sponsors, Jam Jam Cards UK. There will be a link down in the description. I'll also try to remember to put a link on the screen for those combo tutorials I mentioned earlier, which will help you along with this deck profile. Thank you very much for taking time to do the profile with me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Joe.
No problem. If you guys haven't already, you should definitely hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.